Hello y'all on YouTube, this is Rob with Rob's Nerdy Knives. Today I'm doing a very special review impressions of a knife that I bought for a giveaway. So, I'm not going to be hard use because I didn't want to use and abuse this knife. I just wanted to get a chance to check it out, look at it, kind of get my thoughts on it. And it's going to be for a giveaway. I think it's a pretty cool little knife. So we'll go ahead and talk about this little knife and kind of get into the whole thing. So let's do that. So this here is this is a Ferrum Forge knife. This is the Mini Archbisop. This is made by or designed by, I should say, Ferrum Forge. So they have a unique design style out there. It's a tan G10 blade. Boy, I am just stumbling all over my words. It's tan G10 scales on top of the, I believe, steel liners. Let's double check that. Yeah, steel liners, right? Steel clip, yep. And but this is a Nitro-V blade steel. I believe this is a flat grind. Yeah, it's a flat grind with a big, huge fuller hole, thumb hole, whatever you want to call it, with a nice big finger choil that works really well. It's super small. This is going to be in the size of a baby banter, right? When I think about this one right here, this is pretty small, but the way you can choke up on this with the finger choil choking up and the way the shape of the hand, it actually works with my hands. I have large hands with big meaty fingers, and I have a little bit of room. It's pretty comfortable in there. It's a little crowned on the top, or at least chamfered, so that works pretty well. It looks like almost like a full flat grind up here, but it does flatten up here. It is a liner lock. It does engage on the blade, probably a good, I want to say 20%. Lock in there is pretty good. There's no blades, pivot lash. Let's hear the detent. Nice and clickety. My new term for, when it clicks. Apparently clickety is a new form of aesthetics. Nice clickety. So there you go. It does deploy really, really well for such a small knife. The flipper works really well, and you can do both the push button and you can do the light switch. Both of those work really, really well. This reminds me of a nice little inexpensive Civivi or Sencut kind of knife. Don't know who the designer is for this one. I don't think it says on the box. It is said it's Ferrum Forge. Yeah, I don't know who did it. I'm gonna guess. It looks like the aesthetics and everything. I look at this. It's kind of got a Civivi Sencut kind of look to it. I could be wrong. But that is what it sure looks like. Civivi or Sencut. You guys let me know down below if you know. I couldn't find it anywhere, so I would appreciate that. My review impressions is going to be my hands-on, right? So I'm not a hard use guy. If you expect me to go out there and beat up, chop up wood, and do all sorts of things with this, you might want to look for another review, right? Mine is my honest impressions based on what I've done with this. And since this is a giveaway knife and I didn't want to beat it up or anything like that, I'm going to tell you that it's from me handling it at the desk, carrying it a little bit, kind of feeling it, that it's pretty good. It's pretty good. So let's talk about this knife. 10 G10, T6 screws, kind of a bummer, but at this range of budget realm, I understand. T8 right there, T6 screw over here. This is an inset screw that's held in place. So, I guess it's pretty solid in there, which is not bad. There's a screw hidden below the clip, so you have to take the clip off to get to that. It's pretty dead nut center, which is nice. Blade to handle ratio is pretty good. Goes all the way to the tip with that G10 backspacer with a little texture on there, jimping, which is cool. When you flick it, the jimping does extend out pretty far. So when you come up here, you've got some pretty good jimping on here. My big meaty fingers, I have to turn it a little bit just to make sure I don't get too close to that sharpening choil, to the tip of there, because that could be dangerous. If you have got big fingers, you go straight down like that, you might cut into your hand. So for me, I would be more inclined to do that. If I don't, it's going to be a 3.5 finger kind of hold like this, right? But that's where I'm inclined to go. Chamfering all the way around on the G10, which is a nice touch. There's no sharp edges, no sharp corners anywhere. The clip itself is pretty easy, straight up, kind of easy across. It is recessed. The screws are recessed. It is inset as far as the clip itself into the scales, which I think is great. There is no weight relief in the steel liners, but it's so small that it feels like it's kind of balanced. So your balance is right there where your finger would normally go. So the best balanced way to hold a knife is going to be like this. If you choke up, just realize it's going to be a little back heavy, which, you know, after a lot of hard use, that could make a difference, right? It reverse flicks really, really well. It front flips with the left hand really, really well, and it flips really, really, really well. I like all of those forms of deployment. Those are really nice. And of course, you can, with anything with a thumb hole, you can do a slow roll, right? All this is true of the right hand as well. It's a little easier on the right hand, with me being a right-handed person. It is right hand tip up only, which is kind of a loss for this price point. It feels like I don't know, might have been worthwhile to have a screw over there. I don't know. Who knows? But that's kind of a bummer on that part, I think. But otherwise, I mean, I understand. It locks up really well. It does deploy really well. It even has somewhat decent action as it drops. So I like that. I like that. It's Nitro-V steel, which is a good budget steel. It's not it's not 154 cm or anything, but it's good. It's definitely, I think, Nitro-V 14C28N. I don't know, maybe Nitro-V might be a little bit better. Who knows? But definitely a pretty good steel out there. So I like that a lot. Very cool. Very cool. Let's see what else. Okay, so we talked about the materials. We talked about the lock type. It is a liner lock. It works really well. We talked about how it opens and closes. The action's pretty good. It's cage ceramic or cage ball bearings in there, so that's nice for the action. That really is cool. Talked about the blade shape. So let's do some weight and measurements. I mean, it's kind of a ridiculously small knife, so I don't expect it to be heavy. This might be, what, 2.1 ounce? Maybe less than 2? I don't know. 2.4 ounces, so I was completely wrong. It's got some weight. I guess that's because there's no weight relief in the steel liners. That would probably account for that, right? So that's interesting. All right, so let's look at the overall length of this knife. It's not going to be huge. I think it barely gets 6 inches, right? So we're at 6¼ inches, so it's definitely small. The grip area is just over 3 1/8 of an inch if you just do that. If you do the finger troll, though, you go up to 4 inches. So that's good for those big, meaty hands, right? Like I said, I actually can get a full presentation, which is not bad, not bad. All right, so let's talk about the overall blade length. So from tip to there, we're looking at 2 3/4. So 2 3/4 of an inch. Let's look at the overall cutting length. The overall cutting length is 2½ inches. So 2½ inches is not a huge, huge knife. All right, so let's look at the blade stock thickness. A lot of that's going to be dependent on where we're measuring it. So I think if we measure it near the top, it's going to be obviously a little thicker. So we're 118 thousandths of an inch. We go near the tip. Is it about the same? 118 thousandths of an inch. So it's pretty consistent. Interesting. So it's not super thin, but it's not super thick. It's close to the average 0.12 inches, right? So 120 thousandths of an inch. Not bad, not bad, not bad. All right, so what does this fall into? It definitely falls into the budget category. It's under $100. When I bought this, I think I paid like 60, maybe between 50 and $60, I think, or somewhere in the 50-something to the 60-something range. That's what I believe I paid for this. I think it was 60-something. I might have been on sale. But it's definitely a budget knife, for sure. So, but it's a cool little budget knife. This is one of those things that I could see myself having in the car as a small, kind of clandestine little sort of a cool tool. I like that. I like that a lot. Is it EDC? Absolutely, this is an EDC knife. This is a hard use EDC knife. Now, hard use as you can with a liner lock. Don't go chopping woods and cutting up logs and stuff like that. Get a fixed blade or get an axe. Use the right tool for the job. But this right here is a great little tool. It's a great little tool for whatever job you need, and it can definitely be hard use for a liner lock type of hard use. Totally agree. Is it a collection piece? I never consider budget knives a collection piece. You could make it a collection piece. If you wanted to, you can collect whatever you want. I don't think it's a collection piece. Budget knives are not a collection piece for me, so they're just a tool to use, and then you replace whenever you're done with it, right? That's my personal opinion. Ergos and feel, overall design, handles are good. I love the chamfering all the way around. It's very comfortable. There's no hot spots. That I really enjoy, and I think is a plus. The opening and closing for a small knife is relatively good. I bet if I put Skiff cage ball bearings in here, it'd be even better. If this was my knife, I might have done that. But that's kind of cool. Opening and closing, I like a lot. The flipper works well. The fuller hole or thumb hole, whatever you want to call it, works really, really well. I like that. The texturing on the G10 is just enough to give you some traction. I think that's really cool. The texture and jimping on here is really, really nice. There's no lanyard loop, so I am totally excited about that. I don't miss the lanyard loop, so that's cool. Very cool being not having a lanyard loop. Open and closed ergonomics is relatively good for a knife that I don't use a whole lot. Remember, this is a knife I bought with the intention of giving away, so I'm not going to hard use it and go carry it and beat it up or anything like that. So it is breaking in. I will tell you it's way better than when I first got it, but it's got a ways to go. If I were to make this my own knife, I would probably take it apart, tune the detent, probably see if I can put in skiffs. Those are my steps that I would put in. So if you happen to be the person who wins it, maybe those are the steps you should follow, right? So there you go. Yeah, we talked about the open and closing. It's really nice. So what is the fidget factor? Well, this one has a pretty decent fidget factor for a little knife, right? You've got the full thumb hole here, fuller hole, that works low and that works high, right? So you can do the high up here as well. Oops, let me get my thumb in there, hold on. And it does get a nice strong actuation. You can do the push button, you can do the light switch, all that works. And I think we even have a little, let's see if I can do it. Yeah, we've got a real middle finger reverse bonus flick on both sides. So that's nice, yeah. So that being said, so what is the fidget factor? So we've got, this is gonna give it a 7. Definitely give you a good solid 7. For the size of the knife, it's amazingly really good. Really, really good. All right, so what is the overall fidgety goodness of this? I will have to tell you that it executes really well. I can't think of a reason why I should be at or lower than 95. So I got to give it 100. I'm just shocked. It is really well executed. It makes me wonder if the full Archbishop is just amazing, but the mini Archbishop is just pretty cool. So I'm a big fan. I'm absolutely a big fan of this and definitely recommend it. So there you go. So 100% on fidgety goodness. My overall thoughts, final thoughts is 100% recommended. I like it. I like it. I think it's definitely a cool knife if you like the size. There's different colors. This is the only color I could find when I bought this, but definitely recommend. I'd probably get black G10. Do like this a lot. Really cool little knife. I think, you know, they could even make a premium version, which I know the full Archbishop is, but the little one is not. Yeah, so definitely something worth considering for your collection. Again, I bought this with the intent of giving it away, so I'm glad I did because I got a chance to check it out. It does make me think very favorably of the Archbishop and makes me want to check that out, so I might just do that. Yeah, very cool little knife. I'd love to hear your thoughts, your impressions, maybe if you have one, what you think about it, how you enjoyed it, some of your experiences. Feel free to comment down below. I'd love to hear that. Hey, if you found this content fun, interesting, or worthwhile or entertaining, would you please consider hitting the like button down below? If you've already hit that like button, would you please consider hitting the subscribe button? Subscribing and liking the videos really helps out the channel, allows the channel to do more things, produce more content, just basically maybe do more things for you guys. So thank you. Thank you to everyone who watches the videos, who likes the videos. I very much appreciate you. I really do. And if you haven't already, maybe consider hitting that notification button as well, so you can be notified of future content, like this video. Really, really do appreciate that. And also to all the channel members out there, a big, big, big thank you. Thank you. I appreciate all that you guys do as well. Yeah. There's a lot of things this channel wouldn't be able to do if it wasn't for you. So as a small way for me to say thank you, I do a once a month members giveaway. And I try to make that very special for the channel members because you guys have been so generous with so many subscriptions. So just know that as long as those channel members memberships are there, I will use that money, those funds, to make sure it's a nice giveaway. So just want to let you know that. It's my small way to say thank you. And if you just became a channel member recently and you haven't emailed me yet, or if you've been a channel member for a while and you've never emailed me at all, requesting a sticker, then I would love for you to email me with your name and address so I could mail you a sticker as a small way for me to say thank you. Thank you to all of you guys. Genuinely, genuinely appreciate that. Yeah, so I would love to have you. Oh, and if there's anybody else who, you know, if you've been on the fence and you thought, I'd like to become a channel member, how do I do that? Check out the description down below. I have a link for that where you could become a channel member. I would be honored to have you as a channel member. So thank you. Thank you if you're considering it and if you do it. And then finally, if you haven't already, maybe check me out on Instagram at robs_nerdy_knives. Again, that's on Instagram at robs_nerdy_knives. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great day and a great week.